We had a great experience with FourBridges, and I'm glad to share some perspective on that today. A little background on our company: we outpatient orthopedic physical therapy, been in business since 1992. We cover 9 locations around Greater Chattanooga, MSA, including North Georgia. Over the past 8 years, we've probably been approached 5 or 6 times to do something. Sell, partner, be acquired, whatever. And that started back in about '05. We didn't know, why people came knocking on the door. We always, I think we kind of came up with a plan that said, hey, we'll always listen and we'll try to learn as much as we can about kind of what's going on. We just never felt that the timing for our company was right, back then. And we also didn't think that we had that we were positioned well enough to be a good platform, to make that happen. So what we did do with the information that we gained is through those experiences was kind of, in hindsight, was kind of to follow the Boy Scout model, which is, be prepared. So these guys might not have thought we were prepared, but we tried to be. We did this by doing 3 things from like '04 to present day. We developed a plan, to kind of position ourselves for the future by getting some capital investment and growing a little bit. We worked at getting smart on the process of M&A. None of us were, I have a BS in economics, but not like I know anything. It's just a different sandbox that we're not used to playing in, but that was kind of what was going on in our industry. So we wanted to get smart on that. And we did that by interviewing either buddies of ours or people in our industry that had gone through that process. We wanted to find out about it, what were their experiences, what kind of deals did they do, and why did they do them, because they were all kind of about our size or a little bit bigger. And we also kind of wanted to figure out why the heck were we getting so popular, because we didn't, weren't doing anything, we just nose to the grindstone trying to provide good care in Chattanooga. So we did also did research on the players that we knew that were playing in the game, that were most in our industry. There's 2 publicly traded companies, and there's a bunch of like bigger outfits that are backed by P&E. So we tried to get smart on who they were, what they were doing, kind of what their business models were, and that was all kind of in preparation that if we ever got another opportunity down the road, hey, we may be a little bit, in a better position to, take advantage of that if we wanted to, because we didn't know what we were going to do at our level. But I tell you, the one constant piece of advice we got from everybody that we talked to, and we probably talked to 10 different folks that had gone through that process, was get a good attorney, get a good accountant, and get a capital advisory group. And, we didn't really, we're business guys, so we were like, we don't want to pay attorneys, we don't pay accountants, we don't want to pay capital advisory guys. So, what do we need those for? So, but in the big scheme of things, it's important. And so we, our next opportunity kind of came about a year and a half ago, due to kind of the changes in the healthcare market and the fragmented aspect of our industry. PT, physical therapy, is there's no one out there that has more than 5 or 6% of the market. So it's kind of a lot of companies like myself that have cities or whatever that you're in, but you have somewhere between 8 and 20 locations, and you cover the MSA, and life is good. So that's kind of what our industry is. So it's kind of being looked at as things consolidate in healthcare. There'll be some consolidation going on. So anyway, so the very first thing we did was to interview several capital advisory groups, both locally and out of state, that we had gotten some leads on, and we felt that FourBridges was had the best of everything that we needed, which location, reputation, requisite knowledge and experience, and a comfort factor that we didn't really find elsewhere. They listened to what we kind of brought to the table, our story, our expectations of what we wanted as far as if we were even going to close a deal, and what we were looking for in a partner in the future for our industry. So that was post-close. And the nice thing was there was never any pressure from them to us to even do a deal. throughout the process, which sounds odd, but Andy always kind of said two things, and kind of said, however this ends up, you guys have to live with it, so make sure it's something that you want. And I think that's good advice. And then the other thing was, the deal's not closed till the deal's closed. So had to remind us as we went through. But I think it's important to keep in mind that, from a business standpoint, that this is a very introspective look at the company that you built. You'll see every flaw, and you'll see every accomplishment that you did. And it's kind of right out there, so you really get to find out a lot about, hey, I wish we'd have done this, that, and the other thing along the way. But you just don't have the bandwidth sometimes as a business owner to kind of get all your ducks in a row that you want to have in a row. But that's where these guys came in to help us out. When you're operating your business, day in, day out, it's just difficult to see your company from a buyer's perspective, and it's not really important to you. But if you're going to close the deal, I think it's paramount that you do that. And I think that's what FourBridges kind of positioned our company in a way that brought to light the areas that needed our attention before we proceeded, and then highlighted our strengths to help ourselves get a view of ourselves that was realistic and non-biased. I mean, what you think you are and always what you are. And I think we're probably as guilty as we thought we were pretty good. So not always the case. But in fact, FourBridges was so committed to us that during this process, Chris Rowe hurt himself somehow playing golf, and we had to rehab him, and I think that kind of pushed our EBITDA just kind of right where we needed it. But I will tell you this: there's no way that we could have effectively run our business and tried to handle the complexities associated with finding a strategic partner, navigating processes of M&A, negotiating all the various aspects of taxes, auditing, reviewing, accounting, procedures, and interviewing prospective partners, developing an appropriate and attainable growth plan, going through due diligence, which is just lovely, and making informed decisions based on kind of what life would look like after a transaction. Because in our industry, we're not widget makers. They're purchasing basically our throughput and what we do as a business. So we weren't going to go anywhere, and we wanted to make sure if we partnered with anybody that it kind of offloaded the stuff that we didn't want, compliance and legal and those kind of things, and let us do what we do well, which is grow the business and treat patients. And that's what we ended up with. And we're about a month down the road, with this new company, and it's been great. Side by side the whole time. It's going to give us a little bit of firepower or horsepower for our company in this area to do some of the things that we wanted to do without signing a personal guarantee on for a bunch of bankers to try to get more capital investment to do what we need to do. So. We found a perfect group, closed the deal on September 16th. Andy and Chris was who we worked mostly with during it was about a 9-10 month process. Like I said, they want us out of their hair. But it was, it's just a lot of work, and you're still doing what you have to do from running a business, and it's hard. And they were, calm, cool, they did most of the work as far as having to deal with that, which gave us the freedom to still run the company, and that's a hard thing to do. So that's kind of briefly our story. So if you have any other questions, I certainly would be able to answer it on the panel, and field any questions. But appreciate your time.